Sorry about that, man. What's up, everybody? How everybody doing? Um, yeah, man. Good afternoon from here in St. Kitts. From my office. I'm on break right now, and as usual, y'all know, I like to come out here and just run my mouth for a bit on some topics that I find interesting. It might not always be boxing talk. It might be something completely unrelated to boxing talk. It might be anything that I feel like talking about today. But let's first start off with Bellator 263. So we just had the official weigh-ins for the finale of the Grand Prix. It's a featherweight Grand Prix, and AJ McKee is going to go up against Pitbull, champ Pitbull, double champ, and I'm picking AJ McKee. I like this kid. His father was a pretty good MMA fighter himself, hell of a wrestler type base fighter. But AJ seems to have put together all of the attributes of a modern MMA fighter. Dude is on a roll. Ran game on Darian Caldwell. Pitbull is tried and true, but it might be time for a new king at featherweight, and I think AJ McKee got this, man. Definitely, I'm backing AJ McKee all the way. And to be honest, these two might be two of the best featherweights in MMA. And I know a lot of people like the UFC and all that, and automatically, if you're in the UFC, you're better than everybody else. So that's not the case, especially not here. I think these two, this might be number one and number two of the featherweights in the world. So we got to tune in at the tomorrow night to watch AJ McKee beat up Pitbull. In case you're new and you're wondering about my avatar, that is Jarrell Miller pushing Anthony Joshua into another state. I plan to submit this picture to VADA to make it so they can consider it for their official logo. But yeah, man, I hope everybody doing okay. I hope the damn stream wasn't picking up that TV just now. Get my shit straight. What else is on my mind? Yeah, man, Shacirri Richardson is back at it. So she made a post on Twitter about if you miss me yet. She says, do you miss me yet? And she's made posts in the past basically insinuating that without her in the Olympics is going to be whack. We all know Shacirri got in whatever issues because of a positive marijuana test, which is a violation of the Olympic drug testing policy at the moment. And she got banned from competing in the 100-meter. And she was also prohibited by her own team from competing in the relays. I don't think Shacirri Richardson gets it. And this is why I stayed away from getting into any big discussion with anybody, big debate with anybody about Shacirri, because people put the emotions over the common sense. And just to say, let me be clear here. And I know one person personally who's at the Olympics. One person. And that individual has been around Shacirri. And that person also is a smoker. I didn't say this before when I was talking to 1-2 kidding them, but that person is also a smoker. Here's the difference. That individual smokes, but they don't smoke coming up to a certain time when it comes to track and these sorts of stringent drug testing for marijuana. And certainly they were not smoking around this time. The individual told me that Shacirri, got to be one of the stupidest persons because a lot of people at the Olympics smoke. But they just know when to stop. What's up, John Dealey? How you doing, man? They just know when to stop. And as far as the individual told me, it's pretty selfish of her to somehow make it about her when she's the one who made the mistake that other people didn't make, because a lot of other people smoke. They just know when to stop and not do it. And that individual is also going through certain things in their life. Because I know people are going to tell me how, oh, you know, Shacirri was going to death of her mother. Let me tell you something, man. A lot of people going through things too. A lot of people going through things too. But they are well aware of how to deal with it. So I find her post about if you miss me yet in terms of the Olympics to be something that it smacks of narcissism. She doesn't get it yet. She doesn't get it. She doesn't understand that this is not about her. Shacirri Richardson is a person who seems to have an issue. She seems to be a bit self-absorbed. And a lot of people have been encouraging her on social media and enabling her rather than telling her, ma'am, just go and get your shit together, prepare for the World Championships. Yeah, John, you could get a link, man, of course. Shacirri Richardson has not achieved anything yet in the world of track and field. She will, though. But at the moment, she hasn't achieved anything yet. She's done very well at the Olympic qualifiers. She hasn't won any international meets like that, no big tournaments, none of those things. She just came out the NCAA some years ago. She's on her way. But the idea that somehow without her, the Olympics are whack, ma'am, there are multiple time gold medalists in the Olympics. There are world champions in the Olympics. There are people that you trained with that were supposed to be your teammates on the American team currently in the Olympics who didn't make the mistake that you made. And you apparently don't understand that this is not about you. You should be encouraging your fellow teammates who are currently there, preparing to run their ass off or to jump or to whatever, encouraging them rather than trying to make this somehow about you. You don't get it. This is why they didn't put you on a relay team, because you don't understand. And whoever is a part of your management team, your coaches, your mentors or whatever, they're not doing you no favors. People with mental health issues and whatever mental struggles should not be on social media. Social media don't have shit good for you. It's a bunch of people enabling bad behavior or people who just come on here to troll. What's up, John?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
What's on your mind today?
I'm a bit disappointed about this because when she initially got a ban, I actually thought she'd responded quite well.
Yes.
She put her hands up. She said she's going to serve her time, and that was about it.
Yes. She said, I know what I did. I know what I was not supposed to do, and I did it anyway, and I accept whatever. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, that's how you deal with it. You made a mistake. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually saw, in fact, I saw the guy that did the YouTube post on it today. He's coaching one of the Samoan throwers. I think it's discus, but it could have been hammer. But he's like a strength coach that I sometimes listen to what he's got to say on YouTube. And I wanted to get his take because he was American. And whilst he agreed with the ban, he thought the rules should be changed. Not retrospectively for Shakira, but just generally, he thought they should be reviewed. Which, I mean, I think they probably should be for cannabis, to be honest. If it's legal in some countries and it's agreed it's not a performance-enhancing drug, you don't get suspended for drinking alcohol. Might not be advisable, but you wouldn't. They just don't test for alcohol, do they?
No.
So I'm not sure it should be on the list of substances tested for personally, but if the rules are broken, the rules are the same for everybody, so you have to stick with those rules as they are for now.
Yeah, until it's changed.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my stance. But if it becomes legalized in certain parts of the world, then you have to question why it's being banned exactly, if it's not a performance enhancer. But that is a separate conversation, not relevant to what she's gone and done. Now, I'm sorry, whether she's there or not, and I'm a bit torn on this because I'm sort of supporting Dina. But if Veronica Campbell-Brown wins gold in the 100, then that's a fantastic achievement, whether she's there or not. It doesn't.
Veronica Campbell-Brown doesn't run anymore.
I thought she'd qualified.
I know Elaine is there. I know Shelly Ann Fraser is there. Shericka Jackson is there.
Where am I getting confused? Am I getting confused with Shelly Ann Fraser?
Shelly Ann Fraser. Veronica Campbell is retired, so you're an old school guy.
Made myself look out of date.
You're aging yourself, John.
I'm old. I'm older than you. Talking about 1980s, I remember Daley Thompson winning the gold medal in the decathlon.
Okay. Veronica Campbell-Brown, god damn.
Yeah, no, I'm getting with Shelly Ann Fraser, aren't I? But if she goes and wins, that's still a good achievement.
Shelly Ann Fraser is a multiple-time Olympic champion.
And how old is she now?
I think she might be just in her 30s, maybe.
She's like, it will be third Olympics, won't it?
Huh?
It's very hard to medal at more than 2.
Definitely. People usually get 1 and that's it. And some people get 2 and maybe 2 and that's it. You know what I mean? She's 34 years old. She's 34.
More than 2. Yeah, have to be Usain. And yeah. Like let's get in perspective. Before Usain Bolt won the 100 and 200 at the 2012 Olympics, the sprint double had never been defended in the history of the games before he did that. That's how rare it is to medal at 3 Olympics, let alone like actually get golds.
She won gold in 2008 and 2012.
What happened
in 2016 she got bronze in Rio. So she's going for her this is a 1, 2.
We're talking about like
Olympics.
Merlinotti type of longevity if she gets 4 medals.
Exactly. But what I'm saying about Shacirri is that because she's made posts on this before, like hinting that somehow without her, but you see, it's people on social media.
Entitlement culture that we see across many sports now, and I think in American culture, I think it gets celebrated. All this idea of knowing your worth and celebrating Caleb Plant's worth, and with just all the same sort of thing. When it comes down to Americans, they seem to be blissfully oblivious that they're just one country in a very large world.
Right. The issue I have really is that, you have teammates over there. There's an American team there who are trying to get chemicals.
Let's take an example of an American who's doing things the right way. In Simone Biles, she's there supporting her team. She can't. She's pulled out for something that known as skill confusion, which is a real thing. I wouldn't really describe it as a mental health problem, but it could end up being very dangerous. So what it means is you go to do a skill and the wrong one comes out. So you can imagine if you're trying to do something on a beam and you do something that you don't think you're going to do, you're not going to land it and you're going to hurt yourself.
Yes.
So,
is it something like in baseball or golf they call it the yips, where people
similar, but it's like a confusion. So rather than just not being able to do it, you'll actually do the wrong thing.
Okay.
Well, and it's like a real phenomenon. She's not the only person it's happened to. Well, so that's why in sort of early going, she was doing badly because the wrong skills coming out.
The muscle memories are messed up.
Yeah, something's not syncing right. So whereas the other things you're describing are a bit more like a writer's block where you just can't get it out.
Yeah, well,
you can't do it.
I want to say to these people who are under Sha'Carri's post, you're not doing her no favors, right? I want to tell you that, and just by chance you stumble across my little insignificant conversation here today. What's up, Tahaka Taseti? What's up, Red Glove? How y'all doing, man? You're not doing Sha'Carri no favors. Sha'Carri has the World Championships coming up in the next year, I think. And she has an Olympics that might be here in the next 3 years if they attempt to keep to the actual schedule and make it 2023 Olympics, maybe. She has those things coming up quite soon. Christian Coleman, the same thing is coming up. Sha'Carri needs somebody to tell her, look, stop. Stay off of social media. Stop looking for people to pat you on your back and all this BS. You know what I mean? It's not about you. There's people there who are actual world champions, people who have won indoor championships and Olympic medals and all of this. It's not about you. You have people that you might have competed with in the relays, and you're trying to take attention away from them and somehow downplay them. Gabby, what's her name? Gabby something. She's a 200-meter runner over there. And she's America's hope in the 200s. Extremely, extremely fast lady. But somehow nobody's paying attention to her, who's over there, because everybody's, Sha'Carri shouldn't be banned. It's racist. Oh, it's racist, is it? It's racist. It's racist because you chose to do something stupid, right? It's racist. Now, this is why I don't like people involving race issues where they don't belong, because you spoil actual race issues. And nobody's going to want to hear it because, everybody's going to say, oh, well, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I said, well, yes, we agree. It shouldn't be on the ban list, but it is. And as my friend who is currently at the Olympics, I won't call the individual's name. I won't even try to say the gender because people might know who it is, told me a lot of people smoke, including them. They just know when to stop. They know how to get it out your system, but they know when to stop because, okay, it's not going to be good for me because I need to go to the Olympics. Let me stop. The individual told me Sha'Carri is pompous and she's stupid and she's selfish. That's an Olympian who I know who is currently at the games. You don't have to believe me. This is my friend who's there. And this is not a joke. I can't say the name. I can't say the gender. But she's not the only one who smokes. Other people smoke. They just know when not to do it. And when I saw some report about the American Senate or whatever wants to meet with Olympic officials about, banning the banning of marijuana, I'm like, in America, it's still a federal offense. Federal employees, as far as I know in America, can't smoke marijuana. So why is it all of a sudden you're so concerned about Sha'Carri when your very day-to-day workers, your federal workers, can't be caught using the same substance? Stop trying to, it's good old American exceptionalism. It's good for them, but not for us. Listen, man, a lot of people are smoking the wall. A lot of people. There's companies here on this island that do drug testing, right? And if you want to work there, you can't smoke nothing. I don't see nothing wrong with it, but you can't smoke nothing. And these people got to submit themselves to drug testing. She is not special. It is not about her. She let down her team. And whoever is around her, her friends and all these people, you let her down too. Let that lady go ahead and prepare for the World Championships next year. Let her prepare. Tell her to keep off of social media. People with mental health issues should not be on social media. It's trolls, it's enablers, it's people who just don't like you. You know what I'm saying? There's other athletes who have burner accounts who are on there who don't like you anyway, and they're gonna post shit about you. Tell Sha'Carri this is not about her. There are other American athletes, black athletes over there who are doing their thing. Support them. Let her prepare. I don't like narcissism, no matter what skin color it's in. I don't like narcissism. And I find her to be narcissistic. That's my opinion on that. John, you there?
Yeah. I'm still struggling to see how it's racist. I'm really struggling with that idea. because I've got a counter argument to that. I think it's a bit racist to think that all black people smoke marijuana.
John. You see, this is the issue. Black people don't know when sometimes, you know what? I don't need the stereotype. The stereotype of the black person is like when people come to the Caribbean, the stereotype is a Rasta man with a spliff in his mouth. Right? And they expect to see a Rasta man with his hat on and the Rasta man red eyes and a spliff coming out the mouth.
Hello?
Yeah, John, I can hear you. John Dealey's gone. So John is right. It is racist to assume that ganja is a black thing. You don't want anybody to stereotype you as just this ganja smoking slacker. So sometimes we want to play for the stereotype and sometimes we don't want it. John Dealey's back. John, you hearing me?
Yeah. I don't know what happened then, but I just thought I'd jump back in again.
Yeah, so you're back.
Yeah, the idea that all black people smoke weed, surely that's a racist stereotype.
It's a racist trope.
Yeah. So to say that she's been banned for smoking marijuana because they're racist seems to be confirming a racist stereotype to me, personally. I mean, there's large parts of the world that are inhabited by solely black people who don't have a culture of smoking weed.
Yep.
And for those who don't know the history of marijuana smoking, it was Indian sailors, as in sailors from South Asia, that brought smoking cannabis to the West Indies.
Correct.
So anywhere that actually has a culture of smoking it is in the Himalayas more than anywhere else.
Correct. But people don't know that,
No,
John.
I know.
People think like, is this Rasta culture? No. African people were not smoking marijuana when they came here.
And in West Africa, culturally, they still don't.
It's not. It's something that they picked up from other people. It's not. Listen, man. Anyway, who's that? Is this Red Glove? What's up, Red Glove?
Yeah, it's me. What up? What up, Colin? What up, John Dealey?
Well, I saw Red Glove. It's been a while. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Hope you're well as well.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, Red Glove?
I just think this is interesting, and John definitely brought up a good point. Like that assumption, it's crazy. Like from my understanding, just the word marijuana, that's like an American-made word that was put on cannabis to make it sound like
I think it's Spanish.
It's like brought. It was supposed to be to put it on like the Mexican cartels bringing it in, because there was a big smear campaign against marijuana at one time. I don't know the exact dates and stuff. There was. I'm somewhat educated, but there's some of the details I'm a bit fuzzy on right now because I haven't looked into it for a while. But that's my understanding, is that the American government did a whole smear campaign against marijuana. They're the ones who started calling it marijuana to get it associated like with the Mexican cartels to give a negative stigma to it. And we all know that was done because the cannabis plant can be used as a substitute for many different things.
Yeah.
And there was a conflict of interest. Yeah,
But what you're saying is correct, because I'm sure, and I'm not American and I've never been to America, but I'm sure you're aware of this. There's plenty of places in America called Hempville and Hemp Hill and stuff like that, because it was actually a crop that was farmed there for cloth, paper, and other things. So to disassociate the use of it as something that's smoked, they did implement this other name to distinguish it between place names that I think are still current in America.
Right. Yeah. Red Glove, what do you think about anything else? do you have any opinion on the whole shacirri? You know,
I mean, if it's banned, it's banned. As long as they're keeping the same energy across the board. So I don't care if it's somebody from America, from Germany, from India, or anywhere else in the world. If they're participating in the Olympics and it's caught in their system, as long as they're also getting the same treatment, I don't have a problem with it. You know, and the whole thing, you know, John, like I said, he brought up a good point with that assumption of it being of African American culture. Um, you know, there's a lot of things to address here, but ultimately, like me, I'm not anti or pro marijuana. If if I had to pick one or the other, I would say pro, just because I do know it has medicinal purposes, um, and it's natural. So you know that's where I stand on that. But I can, you know, just because something is good for you doesn't mean that it should be allowed by athletes. I mean, that's the same thing with, you know, how many banned substances do we see in boxing? That is something that it's a banned substance, but in other cases, it's legal, you know, for medicinal purpose. Remember, Manny Pacquiao, he tried to get a medical exemption for some drug leading up to the Mayweather fight, and he was denied. So that drug's not illegal, it's just illegal in competitive sports or in boxing specifically. So that's
That
how
that
I feel about it.
that's
Go ahead.
actually the majority of performance enhancing substances.
Yeah.
There's very few been solely developed for performance enhancement.
Yeah.
Diana was, but that's also before performance enhancing drugs were really considered a problem in sport. First one that was specifically developed by the York Barbell Club in America to help the American Olympic lifting team win gold medals, and was developed by Sieber in the 50s and Bob Hoffman, and was tested on John Grimmick. So steroids come from America, although they try and make out like it's a sort of Russian invention.
okay. So let me
It's American propaganda.
well, let me just wrap this up with this lady. Look here, man. Whoever is her friends, tell her to stay off social media. She's not doing herself no favors. It ain't about you. Nobody misses you in the Olympics. There's actual champions in the, like, proven athletes in the Olympics who have managed to go through things too and still be at the Olympics. So this ain't about you, ma'am. Just relax, all right? Just stop. I don't like people who are narcissistic. Again, I don't care what skin you're in. I don't like narcissists. You know what I'm saying? You think an entire Olympics is whack without just because you not there? You? Oh man, stop. Look here. Next topic, man. Before I go on, John, what's the story about the zone buying BT Sport? What's this?
I haven't actually looked at the news today. I'm not aware of it, so I can't give any UK take on it, I'm afraid.
No, well, all right, fine, whatever, man. God, you're my UK correspondent, and I don't know. Man. Look here, man. Conor Ben has COVID apparently. Should I be asking for proof like I asked for Tyson Fury?
I'm happy for you to ask for proof. You're not the only one who's pointed out it's a convenient excuse, and this is a more difficult fight than his last one. So, you know, people do get cold feet. And in the past, when COVID wasn't a readily available excuse, people used to have to go through with these things. So I'm more than happy to expect to see some sort of test results to be published. Unfortunately, they can be faked pretty easily as well. So
I see. Well, I'll be honest. We've seen Povetkin get COVID. We've seen Conor Ben and Tyson Fury. Out of all those people, I would tend to lean more to Conor Ben if I believe him, but because I don't believe Tyson Fury. Check. I saw somebody on Twitter say at this point I believe Tyson Fury was fake. Would he even fake his own death? Yeah. So if Conor Ben says he has COVID, I can give him the benefit of the doubt. If Tyson Fury says it, no. I think Tyson Fury's rap sheet is too long, and I haven't seen no bitching no bitching Conor Ben yet. So until he proves me otherwise, I'm going to believe Conor Ben, and I'm not going to believe Tyson Fury, and that's my story. What's up, Red Glove? Anything on that?
I didn't catch the first part. Sorry, my earpiece had died, and it kicks me out when it happens.
All I'm saying is Conor Ben said he has COVID, so he's out of the Adrian Granados fight. And I was saying I should be asking for proof, like I would ask for Tyson Fury, but I'm gonna give Conor Ben the benefit of the doubt because I haven't seen no bitch in him yet, like I've seen it with Tyson Fury. So I'm gonna give Conor Ben the benefit of the doubt and say yes, he has COVID, but I'm not gonna believe Tyson Fury. Am I a hypocrite?
Well, this is what I'm gonna say about that. Yeah, I'm sure you're aware of this. Raphael Dawkins, we had Rick Glasser on his show for a while, like every Wednesday, and who was it? It was when Povetkin had tested positive for COVID, and somebody in the chat asked, "Do you think that he's telling the truth?" And according to Rick Glasser, it's to be taken serious when any pro athlete says that. He says that that's not something that he says he knows that a lot of times they do things to get out of fights, but he doesn't think that's one of them. Now that being said, there's always exceptions to that rule. And yeah, I gotta agree with you. When it comes to Tyson Fury, I'm not sure I believe it, but I pretty much when any athlete says it, I'm going to just go ahead and assume that they're telling the truth. Now, if there's some other circumstances surrounding that particular instance, I might, like with Tyson Fury, obviously, I feel differently about that. I could definitely see that there's an argument for Tiafimo. People were saying that he didn't look like he was making weight, and the tickets weren't selling too well, and all those are things that, if they're true, definitely could lend some validity to to him making it up. So yeah, so when it comes to in most cases, I'm gonna go ahead and believe it. But like I said, there's always exceptions to.
Yeah, Tyson Fury. I don't believe shit. I believe Conor Ben though. I believe Conor Ben has shown me he's willing to fight, even though he ain't that good. He will fight you still. Tyson Fury, I don't believe nothing he says. You don't got no COVID. I don't care. I don't care. You don't have no COVID. That's just my opinion. All right.
I mean, I would go as far as to say he probably has it, but got it on purpose. and if you think about it, all right, so he doesn't fall into like the high risk category. He is an athlete, so he's in fairly good shape. I could see Tyson Fury saying, you know what, I could probably survive. More than likely, I would survive COVID, and purposely went and hung out with him. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I wouldn't put it past him.
The only thing is, since he claimed he had it, he's been seen out like just relaxing and chilling and having a good time. So he hasn't even self-isolated within accordance to what you should if you have positive test and you have no symptoms. So like what? I don't believe anything that he says, and I stopped believing him a very long time ago because I've actually been aware of Tyson Fury since he was 16. He's just a very dishonest individual to the point of questioning whether he has a personality disorder.
Oh my God.
I just think there's something wrong with him. I don't think he's capable of telling the truth. He's another narcissist as well. I mean, let's get it straight.
Yes. I remember when he used to be like, anytime Anthony Joshua would fight, Tyson Fury would pipe up. And I was like, why is this dude always like looking for attention? Like the last thing was when Joshua fought Pulev. and Joshua didn't say his name on TV, Tyson Fury lost it. Oh, he didn't say my name. He didn't say my name. Why won't you say my name? It's like, why are you looking for attention off this man's fight? And it's been like that ever since I started watching Anthony Joshua fight.
He actually tried to call him a coward and said that he was scared to fight him because he didn't call him out. And then we see it's Tyson Fury that can't sign pieces of paper.
It's the strangest thing. Like, you're right. So he is a narcissist because he likes attention. He loves when people calls his name, keeps him relevant. He likes that shit. He likes that. But whatever.
Yeah. Around in a loud suit like that with no top on.
Oh, almost definitely. But before I go, I'm not gonna be on long. I got a question for y'all. This is the last one because I gotta go. This delay for Tyson Fury. Now we know he's always a person who talks about inactivity. Even like early last year, I think he was talking about, it's gonna be bad because inactivity with me and Joshua and whatever. Tyson Fury is gonna be out the ring almost 2 years or 2 years now.
Yeah. February
Do you
next
think
year.
this inactivity is gonna hurt him or Wilder?
I don't think it's going to be a very high level fight if it happens. Let's just put it like that. I mean, like, I am extremely biased against Tyson Fury, so I've just got to put it out there. I don't rate him. I don't think he's any good. I think the reason he got out of the Klitschko fight for the rematch is because he just conned Klitschko into not throwing punches, and he didn't want to fight him when he knew what the game was because Klitschko would throw. And I don't think Tyson Fury has a very good chin, and I don't think he's a very good boxer. But I'm quite happy to say I'm very biased. So, if people want to call me a hater or anything like that, that's fine. I think he's technically poor. I think his footwork's actually not very good, and his punch technique is horrendous. That's my stance on Tyson Fury, and all this so-called he's some sort of boxing genius. I just cannot get it. I don't understand what the fuss is about, to be frank. And maybe I'll be proved horribly wrong, and he'll just go around beating everybody, but I don't see it. So there we are.
Oh my God. Red Glove. Go ahead, give me your opinion. This delay for Tyson Fury. We know he's talked about inactivity and how he doesn't like it and all of that and all of this. No, he's been inactive for going on, well, it might be 2 years or whatever.
Yeah. When it comes to him, I don't really think it's going to be a factor. I mean, look, this guy sat out for almost 3 years, became damn near 400 pounds, and came back, fought 2 bums, and was able to get a draw with Deontay Wilder. So, which a lot of people felt he won that fight. So I don't really think the inactivity is going to really do it in for him. I don't know what it is about him saying stuff like that. He said that about Josh Kelly, that he was another victim of inactivity. And then I'm looking at him like, okay, it's been like a year since you fought. Like, you're not exactly active. So, but to answer your question, I don't really think it will. He just does what he does. Tyson Fury, he's awkward in and out of the ring. I'm talking about awkward, trying to figure him out in the ring and trying to figure him out out of the ring. Like why he does what he does. Like one day he's saying that it's not homosexuality is not natural. Another day he's actually kissing a gay man on the lips. Like it's impossible to figure this man out.
Well, thank you, Red Glove, and thank you, John, for your opinions. I gotta go though. Unfortunately, I have somebody outside my office looking for my attention. I'm not sure why they're here because I'm still on lunch, but whatever. John, where'd you go? Anyway, John Dealey, if you're still listening, go to your Twitter. I sent you a Twitter message. You haven't answered me yet. Red Glove, anything from you, bro?
No, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I like the topics that I caught because I caught it a little bit late, but
Yeah, I
I
appreciate
always
it.
enjoy your lives when I can catch them.
Hey, thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for coming on, man. Peace to you, Red Glove. Hey, thank you for everybody for coming and listening to my little thing here. I wanted to do more, But unfortunately, I'm still at work in my office and somebody wants to destroy my entire lunch hour. Anyway, y'all have a nice day. Hey, thanks everybody in the chat, man. Hey, I just see Mark coming here, but Mark, I don't know what happened. I tried to get you in, but it says something about your device not connected or something. But you have a nice day, Laron, Tahaka, Taseti. Who else was in here, man? Who else was in here? That's it. Peace, peace, peace to everybody.